Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is having a good week so far. I got an email from someone newly waking up, and they sent me a screenshot of this Golden Age article. It's from the April 26, 1922, page 463. The scan is a little bit blurry around the edges. Right above the Washington Conference cartoon. Someday each human individual may carry in his vest pocket his own private wireless telephone, through which he can receive reliable news from various parts of the earth and communicate at will with private individuals wherever they may be. Then too the necessity for the phonograph will be practically eliminated when the prophetic words of Jesus have had their fulfillment, as they must. All that are in their graves shall hear the voice of the Son of Man and come forth. Now, we did a video about this, oh my goodness, probably back in 2013, 2014, may have even been on our first channel. But I wanted to cover this again because, like I said, I got an email from a newly awake Jehovah's Witness, and then I happened to come across Daro.
I wanted to share a trivial matter with you for the naysayers out there as to the ability of the Jehovah's Witnesses to have Holy Spirit, whether or not the Holy Spirit comes about on the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, what I'm about to share with you is not a prophecy by any ways, means, or shape. No, you see, this is substantial proof that divine intervention does the Holy Spirit guides the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, this is taken from the April 26, 1922 Golden Age. And I'd just like to read this one paragraph for you because it's very interesting here how these brothers had insight into the future. Notice what it says here. And this is, like I said, it's from 1922, long before cell phones or wireless devices. Someday each human individual may carry in his vest pocket his own private wireless telephone, through which he can receive reliable news from various parts of the earth and communicate at will with private individuals wherever they may be. Then, too, the necessity for the phonograph will be practically eliminated when the prophetic words of Jesus have had fulfillment, as they must. All that are in their graves shall hear the voice of the Son of Man and come forth. Now, it's interesting here because you've got to kind of ask yourself, how did them brothers know we were going to carry wireless devices? How did they know that? Well, that's what we call Holy Spirit. It's not prophetic, but it is Holy Spirit.
Oh my God. So your faithful slave did this prophecy? Now, in searching for this quote, because I knew where it originally came from, I came across a JW forum, JW Talks, and same thing. They had the screenshot, and oh my God, Jehovah's Witnesses predicted this back in 1922? No. Now, the reason I know this is because we watch a lot of documentaries, about a lot of different subjects. I'm going to read this and see if it sounds familiar. Wireless of the future. The practical applications of the revolutionary principles of the wireless art have only begun. What will be accomplished in the future baffles one's comprehension. Now we know, look at cell phones. I mean, that is an amazing invention. This startling prophecy is made by Mr. Nikola Tesla, starting in 1901. 21 years before Rutherford printed it in the Golden Age. Don't believe me? I'll read that again. This startling prophecy is made by Mr. Nikola Tesla. In speaking of the utility of wireless transmission in the near future, he said, "The attention of the world has been caught and held by the wireless telegraph, and yet this is a very primitive use of the art. So far, only electric waves have been used, which have been quickly damped out in their passage through the air. It is possible, however, to transmit electric currents of enormous power for thousands of miles without diminishing their energy. This is not a theory, but a truth established by many practical experiments. It will soon be possible to transmit wireless messages all over the world so simply that any individual can carry and operate his own apparatus. The wireless transmission of power across the ocean, for instance, obviously opens up an entirely new era in mechanical developments. It will soon be possible, for instance, for a businessman in New York to dictate instructions and have them appear instantly in type in London or elsewhere. He will be able to call up from his desk and talk with any telephone subscriber in the world. It will only be necessary to carry an inexpensive instrument not bigger than a watch, which will enable its bearer to hear anywhere on sea or land for distances of thousands of miles. One may listen or transmit speech or song to the uttermost parts of the world. In the same way, any kind of picture, drawing, or print can be transferred from one place to another. It will be possible to operate millions of such instruments from a single station. Thus, it will be a simple matter to keep the uttermost parts of the world in instant touch with each other. The song of a great singer, the speech of a political leader, the sermon of a great divine, the lecture of a man of science may thus be delivered to an audience scattered all over the world. More important than this, however, will be the transmission of power without wires over great distances." Now, I'm going to put the link to several of these articles. I could have found more. I only stopped at like 3 or 4. Popular Mechanics, the October 1909 edition. Wireless of the Future. Oh, this is on page 476. The practical applications of the revolutionary principles of the wireless art have only begun. What will be accomplished in the future baffles one's comprehension. This startling prophecy is made by Mr. Nikola Tesla. So there again, same thing. This article here from Racine Nellie Bly. In 1901, Tesla described to J.P. Morgan, his then business partner, his vision for a new form of electronic communication in which bits of information such as stock quotes and telegram messages would be funneled to a central station where the bits would be encoded and assigned a frequency that would be broadcast to a device. That device would fit in the palm of your hand. Sound crazy? The New York Times on Nikola Tesla. An interview with the New York Times in 1909. The practical applications of revolutionary principles of wireless art. Same thing I just read. It will soon be possible, for instance, for a businessman in New York to dictate instructions. See? So this wasn't Rutherford. This wasn't the witnesses. This wasn't Watchtower being prophets of seeing about cell phones. They plagiarized it from Nikola Tesla. So, Daro, once again, oy vey, oy vey. So you all have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to put the links down below to these articles I found. There's many, many more. Like I said, we had watched a documentary. This tower that he built was going to give free power to the entire world. And when J.P. Morgan found out that it was not going to be a moneymaker for him, he pulled his funds and the project was halted. And the documentary we were watching, they even mentioned, is, this what the pyramids originally were, a power grid. We don't know. that history has been stolen from us. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.